Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Let me know if you all can hear me. SG, every single Tuesday, always on time. Good to see you. Divya, hello, Divya. Nisharik, welcome to being a new member. Purple, hello, Purple Sparkle. Devolina, hello. Hello, welcome everybody. If you are truly new to my channel, my name is Holly Lee. I'm a little crooked at the moment. There you go. I am the founder and CEO, a leadership career coach with hollylee.co, and I live stream every single Tuesday afternoon in answering all of the questions for free until some of you guys started spamming me, you see? That is where the big giant join button in the live video right now to become my paid YouTube community member, which is $3.99. I know. And that is just really helping me operate everything that you're seeing here and just sustain to make sure that I'm getting to your questions as quickly as possible. So welcome everyone to my live office hour. I will answer any interviewed career related questions that you may throw at me. However, if you have complained about your Amazon package not showing up on time, do not come to this channel. This is not the purpose of that. I'm sorry. I've just every Tuesday before my afternoon live stream, I'm still laughing. I spend 4 hours to work for you guys for free every single Tuesday in reading every single one of the LinkedIn, which is right here. Connect with me if you haven't. Your LinkedIn messages, and so many of you. Some of the questions are a little bit silly, but most of them, I love getting them. Continue feeding them to me. And congratulations to the 13 folks who received a job offer from last Friday. Hell yes. Yes. It does happen, guys. It's free. It's hard work, okay? And you could do it here. A lot of these folks, actually, there's a bulk majority of them from the UK, London specifically, Netherlands, Germany, Spain. I'm getting a lot of EMEA just over the weekend. I think the European countries are really spiked up as far as open opportunities. Okay. So for all of you guys, I know not everyone can afford to hire a coach, but folks, people are landing job every single day for free just off of my YouTube content. There are some that never could attend my live coaching office hour like this because of the time difference, and they literally watched every single one of my video. I'm not saying you have to. They literally did, and when they do, they know exactly, one, how to even come up with their stories, right? Two, what on earth is creating their stories? And three, they know exactly how to practice down to what equipments to buy. Yes, folks, I have a playlist that I have worked my tail off for you guys. Did I mention working for you all for free? When 2020 came, I believe it was mid-February to be exact. It was February 22nd when COVID was announced. I went crazy. I just picked up my phone, which is right here, same phone, by the way. Oh, excuse me. I pick up my phone and I put on my Apple iPad and I start live streaming twice a week, every single week. I can't do twice a week anymore, but you got the idea, okay? So it does work. It requires a lot of consistency, okay? Consistency and patience for yourself, not for me, for you is key, okay? And a lot of you guys might think that I'm crazy because I'm literally pushing clients away, not taking on clients, because I'm very particular in the type of professional that I'm able to help. I don't want to waste your time or waste my time. I'm just being very raw here. I run just one premier VIP coaching program, a small group that we do live office hour mock interview every Tuesday for 2+ hours. With daily engagement, I use a platform called Discord. Who have heard of Slack? Well, Discord, in my opinion, is 1,000 times better, where I reviewed every single part of your work, including resume, LinkedIn, your Amazon writing exercise. In occasion, I get interviewing at Tesla. Did you all know that Tesla also have a writing exercise? Yeah, they do. Tesla is the writing style is kind of similar to Amazon as well. Okay, so you got to do the hard work. The free version of you landing your dream job is right here. Now I'm ready to answer all of your Q&A and see who is all here. Let's see. Oh, by the way, if you guys are new to my channel, please say new in the comment below and put a giant Q in front of your questions. Do not spam me today, okay? All right. And don't forget, I often forget myself, hit subscribe button and help me trick the Google, YouTube algorithm to get a lot of those job seekers in here for the free section. Debolina, hello Debolina. Debolina says, I've been watching all your videos. Have been immensely helpful in my interview prepped. My first round with Amazon today for, I think you're you're probably saving the characters. That's pretty cool. I'm trying to figure out how to read the whole thing. Position of sourcing recruiter. What questions can I expect? Well, my friend, if you're interviewing for a sourcing recruiter, you know all the questions. It's around what the common thing is, rather than saying, for example, tell me about the most innovative thing that you've ever done, or tell me about your biggest business impact. So rather than asking you those questions, switch it around and they would simply, or I would, this is what I would actually do, walk me through the most difficult position you ever have to source. Sourcing recruiter, by the way, all you amazing job seekers out there, they're the ones who reach out to you on via LinkedIn. That's a sourcing recruiter. Sorry. Okay. So I would want you to walk me through from beginning to end of your process on the most difficult rec. Okay. What makes it difficult? What is your sourcing strategies? Where do you go? What do you do? Right. It is rare for you to have an Amazon interview for any recruiting role, especially in sourcing, because your job is going after passive candidate most of the time. I would either have someone go to the whiteboard and write out the sourcing string for me, or give them the laptop so I can see if the string actually works. Okay, so there's a lot of those type of questions. You remember, you have to go very, very deep. You probably already know this, but just in case, you don't want to mention that you use job boards, okay? Like Monster, Dice.com, Hire.com, and all of that stuff. It's great and all, but you're working for FAANG. So everyone in their mom will say, we use job board. So think creatively as you're diving deep into your answer, okay? Alrighty. Dishoric? You just became a member. Well, welcome. SG, how are you? Thank you for coming back every single week. You've been with me for a little bit. If there's anything you need, girl, you just let me know. And thank you so much for that coffee emoji. I'm all about the coffee, which is right here. This coffee emoji, yes, I'm all for it. I don't ask for much, but yes, I want my coffee. Alrighty. Cass Whistle, welcome, Cass Whistle. Allison, hello, Allison. There's a lot of folks. I know that there's a lot of paid community member, but don't be shy, guys. If you don't drop your questions, just a hint, you don't have to use your real name either, okay? You can make whatever nickname, you just need a Gmail account, and all you have to do is to click on subscribe to my channel and join as my member, and you can leave a comment, okay? Don't sit back in the classroom just to listen. If you're a listener, hey, it's all good, but give me all of your questions. I will answer all of it for you today. Mars, how are you, Mars? Humik? Do correct me if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. Divya says some tips for judgment call when you've made recently that couldn't be analyzed. That's a really good question, by the way. I love that question. That is actually one of the top questions a lot of people have failed. I wonder if I have already made a video on that. I have a total of 185 videos. So I know I don't have the most polished YouTube channel. As mentioned, when I start live streaming, it was a chaos. Not only did the pandemic hit, but my son and I also went through a flood. So I literally have my phone and record. I figured the least I could do is to live stream like this in an office hour and answer all of your Q&A. So I have done that for a full year and a half, nearly 2 years, with no pre-recorded content. Okay. So now for 2022, I'm trying to come back. I almost want to say come back to life. Come back in the process and continue pumping those short videos for you guys. It does take a lot of the time, but if nobody watches it, why am I doing it, right? And for the longest time, I have an option to either come in here in live and answer your questions or spend a whole week recording a 5-minute video. I chose to do this. That is why I've made that decision. For a judgment call, think about judgment call as a time where you have to the questions about making a judgment call and sacrificing short-term gain for long-term growth is very similar, okay? Again, guys, everything that I'm sharing with you is my personal experience. I've seen how Amazon worked. I've sat in, I don't know how many thousands of debriefs in level 5, 6, 7, and even 8 at some point, okay? Do they have 8? Director level, basically, okay? So think about a time where you have to think very creatively on a judgment call that is a little bit out of the ordinary, okay? I think I'm going to make a video just for you, Diva. I'm going to make a video on that. My goal is to make a video on as much as all of those behavioral interview questions as possible. I just haven't had a time to get around with it. That's really the only reason. And as you can tell, I just moved office. I'm in my living room now. You like this? If you like the setup, please give me a thumbs up. Say like, new setup. It's not really my new setup. I just moved to a different pieces of wall. Okay. So think about a time where you are creatively, I don't know anything about your background, Divya, so I can give you an answer without knowing any content where you're from. But if you guys like, for my YouTube paid community member, I'm happy to review your story, guys, every Tuesday right here. Okay. I'll review anything you want me to review, your resume, your LinkedIn, your story. You have to drop them here. When you guys work with a coach, even virtual coaches like me right now, don't come and just seek for an answer, but try. My process, I don't know how other folks work. I like to see my members try, and then I'll come in to fix it for them alongside with them. That's the only way for you to learn. If not, you'll be showing up to your job interview sounding like Holly Lee and not yourself. Okay? So think about a time where things aren't going well and what was the end result. If you're truly stuck in creating your story, I highly recommend that you work backward. I know it's a very Amazon thing, and I'm so grateful I spent 7+ years there. But think about the result already. Now take another step backward. How were you able to deliver those results in detail? Okay, be very, very specific. Now take another notch up. What problem were you really solving, and who are you solving for? What is your goal? Okay, when you got no goal, if no one understands why you're delivering and who you're delivering for, with any kind of judgment call, it would make no sense and you will sound very vague. Okay? Aisha, hello, Aisha. Grab your coffee. I got mine. Nice. Cheers. By the way, I don't know if you guys can see this. I finally make a couple merchandise on my YouTube channel. You don't have to buy them. If you do, I make a couple dollars out of them or so, but just for fun. I work for myself, so sometimes I get kind of tired of listening to myself. This is one of them. It's do what you love. And here it says Career Tuesday. By the way, folks in my VIP coaching, after they received a job offer, I do send it to them in the mail. Okay. Now download this. This is very important. This is the most innovative thing I've ever done. When I coach my student, I don't send them a list of 16 Amazon leadership principles because why? You can get them for free. I feel like there are so many creators, so many coaches, everyone sound exactly the same. So what did I decide to do? I decided to go the other way where I don't even talk about it at all. So rather than focusing on the 16 leadership principle, I teach you in my channel, in my VIP coaching. Look at that story right there and hit just download. There's no catch. You're not buying anything. When you download this, yes, you have to give me your email address just in case you're not a robot or a spammer, right? even if you're spammer, at least I know who you are. So when you download this, if you read the story carefully, it should hit the leadership principle 100%. Okay. So my style is to not waste your time in months and months and months and prep for the most intense interview of your life called AWS, aka Amazon. Just focus on the story, focus on the meat of your story, and you should be fine. Okay. Sindhu says, looking forward to this. I will have my final interview scheduled soon with the team I'll be working with at Amazon. Watching your videos help me calm down and prepare well. Thank you. When you say calm down, I don't know about calming down because I'm definitely I can see that there's a little bit lag here. I'm not really sure why. It's just that I have Wave Wi-Fi. I also have T1 connection. I can't get any faster than that. So I'm trying to see if I can switch it to Google Fiber or something. Alrighty. If you are enjoying this type of content, please give a girl a thumbs up emoji. YouTube really appreciate those engagement, okay? Deepolina, hello Deepolina, how are you? Any tips for the first hiring manager round for sourcing recruiter role in Amazon? I have my interview today. I'll repeat your questions, and I'm going to go ahead and move this to member mode only. When I do that, it's just keeping a lot of the spammer away, okay? Alrighty. Carry on. Radha, nice to see you too. How are you? KT, thank you so much for your content. Any feedback on inclined but no offer with HR? What do you mean by inclined and no offer with HR? If you can clarify that for a second. I think what you meant to say is you got a message from the HR recruiter that you have done well in the whole loop. They're going to move forward, but you're waiting for the offer, if I'm correct. If you're at that phase, it generally takes anywhere between 1 to 2 weeks. Occasionally, I do see it drag out to close to about a month because they're trying to open a new rec, if that is the case. In general, it shouldn't take you more than about 1 to 2 weeks. I would say stay on top of your recruiters. Okay. All right. Burmese Python. I read quite a few of your comments on my YouTube videos. Thank you for stopping by. And you got an offer. All right. You all did hear me say that I have 13 people since last Friday with a job offer. Burmese, you are one of them. Congratulations, my friend. If you do have an Amazon offer, please, please, please share what are your best tips. What is your best strategy in helping the rest of the community? Okay. If you could take away something that will save a lot of the members' time, what are your top playlists or videos if you wanted to mention? Jose, it's been a long time, Jose. How are you? Mars, how do you keep yourself energized during the loop interview? That's an excellent question, by the way. I'm afraid that I will end up losing my voice or burned out. Thank you so much for answering my question. Well, Mars, that's a really good question. I talk about this a couple times. Your environment makes a really big deal, okay? Because my environment right now has candles. One of them is light up. I have this. This is just water, hot water, by the way. And I have coffee and tea to that side, okay? You have to build an environment where if you're getting nervous, you're being choked out, take a beverage of your choice. When I say beverages, the reason why I have multiple things in front of me is, for the longest time, I've been falling really sick. For those who have followed me for a while already, my throat is itchy. I'm very dried. So I don't need coffee. That's the last thing I need, or tea. I want my hot water, which is why I'm sipping on, right? So you don't know how you would react once you're going through a brain freeze or anxiety. So it's always great to have things that could give you a level of comfort. I would highly recommend that. Another thing is, if you feel that you are feeling burnt out or your brain is hurting a little bit, if you must, okay? If you must, I would ask if you could take a quick break to grab some more coffee. Don't say bathroom. I don't know why. Bathroom just sounds, I don't know. Just say, do you mind if I take a quick 2-minute break to refill my coffee, so that I could give you, so I can continue being energized for you? Something along that line, okay? You don't want to ask for a break in every single interview. Let me explain why. Because when it comes down to the debrief, everybody will talk about every conversation they have with you. So the last thing you want the whole loop with the bar raiser, the hiring managers in the same table to say, oh yeah, this person asked for 5-minute break. Yeah, 10-minute break. Oh, this person came back half an hour later. You see where I'm going? So you do not want to do that. Okay? Take a really deep breath. Shital says, thank you again for taking the time in the live session. I made it through the phone interview. Congratulations. In your final loop, at the bare minimum, you need to make sure that you have at least 20 plus different story, okay? When your story is so good, there's a way to recycle them. Not the same story. Never use the same story. You can recycle them in a way, and I talk about this in several of my template. It is called the Amazon Leadership Principle questions and answer, okay? It's really the specific answer. I'm sorry, what am I saying? The specific questions along with my template to help you figure out what those LPs are. So don't worry about just creating every single thing, because if you guys do the math, 16 leadership principle times 2 different example, you're going to have a lot. So rather than doing that, if you're really struggling, you're really all over the place, just focus answering those questions the first round first. Make it very, very solid, okay? And if you have some more bandwidth, do a second examples. But for now, focus on one thing at a time, because a lot of those behavioral questions sounds very, very similar. Yes? Yes? Just say similar in the live chat and let me know you're still with me. I know that there's a lot of you guys who's watching right now. Don't be afraid. Drop your questions so I know how to help you, okay? Again, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. That will really help a girl out. Hilton. Hello, Hilton. How are you? Hilton says, came here as per your recommendation on LinkedIn. I was wondering if it's normal nowadays not to do OAs for SDEs, because I was sent directly to phone interview with hiring managers. Well, you don't have to do a online assessment. You don't have to, okay? Not every single position at Amazon require an online assessment. In fact, Amazon has been around for 25 years. Even though they say that the process, the hiring bar should be the same, right? The process should be very, very similar, but yet they're very, very different, right? For SDE or engineers, a lot of the time for the senior folks or not, if you are involved in like a hiring bliss or hiring event, yes, you have to go through an online assessment to demonstrate you can code at least at the basic level. But not everyone does that, especially if your background looks really good. For example, if you are a software engineer at Google or Facebook for at least 3 years or like a couple years, or your staff engineers, I'm not going to send you a coding assessment, right? And if you have 8 years experience, and I can tell by your amazing resume, right, or LinkedIn profile, that you've done a lot of the stuff, you actually built things, built products or services and gone live. So if you have a very good brand, I wouldn't waste your time with an online assessment. But if I'm very confused, I'm not sure if you are at the coding standard, then I would. So that's just saving the interviewer's time in jumping on the phone with you for about an hour and not knowing if you can code, okay? So it's really a preference. It's not consistent. I wish I can say that, sure, it's very consistent. It is not, okay? She tells us, can you please review tell me about yourself? Sure, if you drop it down, I would be more than happy to. Erica, yes. Is this the same Erica who I would literally just responded to you on LinkedIn? Welcome. Okay, this is your tell me about yourself, yeah? Let me do this here, right here, so everyone can see what I'm looking at. Shitel says, I am a BI is business intelligence, by the way. I'm a BI solutions architect at a CFO's team in DXC technology with over 15 years of experience in building analytics and reporting models for C-level, regional, and account executive. I would reword all of that, and this is how I would have done. I would only focus on things that matters and relatable. If you don't come from another software company or e-commerce, you want to talk about languages that they understand what you're saying. Okay, for example, like CFO team, they wouldn't care anything about that because you have already mentioned C-level. C-level is already C-suite executive, so don't repeat yourself, right? DXC technology doesn't mean anything to me or to Amazon because they have no clue what it is. So rather than saying that, I would simply just say I'm a BI solutions architect with over 15 years of experience in building analytics and reporting models for C-level, regional and account executive, and helping them do what? What are you helping them with? So your tell me about yourself should always recruit some type of business impact, right? You did a very, very good job on describing what your role and responsibility is, but don't forget, you always wanted to leave every single interview questions with an ROI, okay? Let me know if that all makes sense, if you have any other question. Washington, D.C. in the house, Mars. And for your tell me about yourself, you don't have to be so long-winded. 1-2 sentences will do. This is not a STAR method, by the way. It's just introducing yourself, okay? I see that you have a couple more sentences. You really don't need that. Just add 1 sentences for what I just did, Chantel. How did you deliver? Like what did you deliver exactly, okay? Let me give you an example. My name is Holly. I am a leadership coach that's been over 25 years in the recruiting industry as a global talent leader for 90% of the FAANG company. Amazon being my longest employer for 7+ years, where I also taught global interview training for them. I've helped over nearly 5,000 folks who are affected by the pandemic since 2020 land an offer at Amazon, Google, Facebook, and other FAANG companies. I'm also offers with their employers of choice. Period. That's about 20 seconds. Okay. So you don't really need a whole lot. You just need maybe 2 sentences, 3, maybe 3 a lot, but you always have to end with some kind of ROI with it so they know what your impacts are. They have to hear who your customers are. Who are you serving? Okay. Burmese. Can you cover salary negotiation when your recruiter says X amount is the max comp? Absolutely. Yes. Cheers. Let's have a quick drink here first. By the way, if you guys are enjoying this, please give a girls a thumbs up in this video. I see that many of you are watching and a lot of you guys are shy behind. Cable Dog, thank you so much for the super chat. Cable Dog says, client interview is good for 6 months. That is true. If you have a job offer, if you interview through the whole loop at Amazon, the offer is good for 6 months and the numbers should not change, okay? Everything should be the same. But if you want to re-interview at Amazon or to change your mind after 6 months, you will have to re-interview for the same position because things change all the time, okay? Alrighty then. Salary. All the recruiters are going to say, well, I shouldn't say all. That's too direct. Most recruiter will say, this is a max comp. Usually they don't really tell you what the max comp is. My style is, this is really the best offer that I can meet you with. I know that with your current total compensation, you're asking for ABC. The total compensation for this role, and based on your overall interview feedback, this is where we can meet you, right? But as a recruiter, let me tell you a secret. By the way, I'm going to have a second YouTube channel all focusing on how to manage your recruiter. It is coming up very, very soon this quarter, okay? With that in mind, you have to really ask the recruiter with data. And I talk about this in my salary negotiation playlist. You can't just say, well, if this is the max, this is what I want. Why? Why do you think you deserve that much? What are you bringing on the table? Do you have number to show them? Because let me just give it out to you guys right now. What I teach and what I train my VIP coaching as well, you need to compare data, okay? If Amazon is giving you the offer, everything is free, by the way. It's in my salary negotiation part 1. It tells you exactly what to do. Show them, well, at Google, they're paying this much. I'm totally making this up as an SDE 3. You know, at Microsoft, they're paying this much. It looks like Amazon's offer comes the lowest. I know that recently it's all over the news. Amazon have bumped up their base cap at 350, and you're offering me, I'm totally making this up again, 150. What can we do to fix the compensation? I would just pause and see what the recruiter has to say. When it comes to negotiating like that, I would highly recommend that you jump on a call with your recruiter and not just ping back and forth. Some of them text. I don't know why you would text, or email back and forth. I would have a conversation, and when that conversation is completed, you would want the recruiter to email you more of the confirming the verbal, what is agreed upon, so that by the time they give you the formal offer, it's the same page. You want to be on the same page with the recruiter that entire time. Okay? VJ, welcome as a new member. Rahan, hello Rahan. Do you have a bullet list of to-do lists for Amazon interviewed? That's a great question. That's literally in my entire channel. I would honestly watch every single video that has the word Amazon on it, even though when I started my YouTube channel, it's really for FAANG. It's not for Amazon. But as you guys can hear it, 99% of my questions is all Amazon related. So I'm basically just answering your questions, okay? And created materials around that. You cannot, there's no such thing as one playlist more important than the other, right? For example, my playlist on fail Amazon job interview attempt. Who here has already have an Amazon fail interviewed? Because in my VIP coaching, 95% of them have failed because they don't listen. When I say, well, I don't know if you're ready for your interview next week because you just told me that you are very anxious, you don't even have your story in place, you don't even know your stories are relevant, that's a bad sign. That means you're not ready to interview in a week. Even if you hire a coach for an hour coaching is not going to get you anywhere because it's going to take you at least a full week to create great stories. You hear me? If that makes sense, say yes. Yes, you make sense, Holly. Okay? K.S. Anthony. Oh, I love the outfit. K.S. Anthony. Questions will be coming up now. Or what questions should I expect? The art of being interview ready is to not care what kind of questions they're asking you. I repeat, the art of interview prepped is to not know every single question because guys and gals, even if you guys do, what about the probing questions, right? The idea of being so prepared to go into any interview with any FAANG employer is you want to be able to have an answer to the work that you have done. Okay? So that is really the bottom line of it. So don't waste your time. I mean, some of you guys, I talk a lot about my VIP coaching. I don't just accept any customers, by the way, because one of my first questions is, what stage are you at the prep process? Because I want to know how much effort that you and I should be working with each other if you are a good fit in my program. Vice versa, I'm a good fit for you, right? And it's very often that folks would say, yeah, I'm working on about 50 different stories or 60 different stories. It's like, no, why? Why? Because when you're doing that, you're not going to memorize 60 different stories. Let's be real here, okay? You're not going to. That's why I'm focusing on 20 really good ones. For the phone interview, just make sure you know the foundation, what a marketing position does, okay? It's very simple. If you read the job description, Amazon is probably one of the very few company that does a very good job in talking about the environment and the role and the scope, okay? So there's a reason why they're interested in your background, and the likelihood of you passing the phone screen is very high based on your credential. You just have to be very polished in delivering with specific examples. Okay? And there's no such thing as one question's more important than the other on the phone screen, because phone screen are just like you and I, depending on our mood. So I can't tell you what exact questions they're going to ask. That's why you need to have all your stories in place before you start the interview, right? Before, please say before on the live chat for me, before the interview, not after you set a on-site loop date. Alrighty then. I am going to pick on someone new. Hello, Van. Suno says, I'm interested in your VIP program. Please suffice if I can start with 1 month and later convert into 3 months. Is it 3 months enough? How much approximate time does one need to commit per week? That's an excellent question. Hang on right here. Let me move this here so we can see. First of all, before you join my VIP coaching, please reach out to me via LinkedIn. I wanted to take a chance to review your LinkedIn profile. I did it for a purpose, right? I can tell you guys right now, my VIP coaching is 50% program product managers. The other 50% is I can't talk. Software engineering managers, software engineer. I have a lot of solution architect, technical program managers. I do get from time to time about a 20% marketing, finance. I don't know, finance, right? Either when they're hot, they're really hot. It's all finance for some reason. But I do get quite a few operations program manager like ops, fulfillment, and that stuff as well. So it's a mix of a lot of the high positions at Amazon, okay? Let's review your LinkedIn profile and see, and I can tell you, I don't know how long it would take for you specifically, but in general, it's gonna take you at least 1 month. Again, this is just from my experience. I'm not talking out of my tail here. I have been running my own business for 3 years. I've helped over 500 people as my clients. My clients, not YouTube channel. My clients ended up at a lot of these FAANG companies. And I do tell them, and it is true, if they meet the Amazon bar, they get job offer from Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, and Apple, and other companies as well, okay? So within 1 week, you would have the perfect branding. That is because a lot of them, when I review your resume and LinkedIn, it makes no sense to me. That's why you're struggling, hence why there's a lot of failed interview attempt, right? Hence why you re-interview for the same role, different team, or, like different level, a level up, level down, but you're not, at the end of the day, you're not sure how to critique yourself. You're not sure how to deliver, starting with your written communication, right? And creating your story is through a template that I already pre-made for you. And I also reviewed every single one of your story for you. Indeed, my friend, right? That process takes a few weeks. It doesn't take that long. Yeah, it takes a few weeks. But what will take you the longest is your communication. I joke around with the cohort. I said, if you can pass my mock interview in the first try, I'll give you 100% refund. No questions asked, because my friends, no one has, okay? Let me give you an example. Very simple questions. Even if I were to ask, describe the toughest or the most challenging project you've ever completed. That's it. That's it. Any questions for that matter. I have not had a single person who are able to give me an answer where it doesn't take them, if they're an executive, which is director and above, even from the FAANG company, it literally takes them 10 minutes to 15, 20 minutes to give me an answer. Yes, of course, they're going to get the job at other FAANG company, but do you want to make a lot of money or do you want to make average? That's a difference between your communication skills. For those who has never worked for a FAANG company before, it generally takes them at least 90 days, and that is the truth. I've helped many folks. There has only been 56 VIP member who's able to land a job offer in 1 month. And those folks have already pre-prepped on their own 3 to 6 months before they came to me. So I cannot take the credit for that. Okay, so I highly recommend for you to dedicate at least 1 to 2 hours, 5 days a week. You can take the weekends off, right? Right? No excuses. In the VIP coaching, I don't want to spend the whole thing talking about that, but I feel like there's a lot of questions about it, so I'm sharing more. In the VIP coaching, a lot of them are parents of multiple kids, right? In fact, my kid is in front of me right now. Oftentimes, you'll see him come in and say hello. In the Zoom call, you see all 15 members with their children coming by, or it's really cute. You see their spouse giving them their coffee or milk tea, whatever they're doing. So it is a community coaching that's very, very tight. Okay. So unless you're willing to give yourself at least 1 hour a week, 5 days a week, you can expect to go from zero, especially with failed interviewed, to get an Amazon offer in a month without even showing up or doing any of the work. And the office hour is on the weekend. I did that for a reason. There's no excuses. I have a meeting. I cannot, there's no excuses. There's absolutely no excuses. It's on a Saturday. It's not, I have my Sunday is a family day. Guess what? Your wife or husband or significant other, if you have them, or your children will love you because you're working hard towards your career goal. What does that translate to? Bringing in the bacon, taking your children to Disneyland. Yeah, right? Right? Am I right or am I right? So if your spouse complain that you don't spend time with them because you are working your tail off because you're highly ambitious to take them on vacation and pay the mortgage that you're living in, would they not love you more or what? Right? I'm only sharing a lot of that more insider information with you guys because that is exactly what my community member is going through. That's why I'm so selective you heard the type of position and personality that I'm looking for. If I don't feel that you have that fit, if I don't feel that we're seeing eye to eye, then I don't want to waste your time or your money. Okay? So please do reach out to me via LinkedIn. Calvin. Hello, Calvin. I'm going to have an interview for a senior vendor manager position. Should I watch the video of yours for product manager as reference? I would highly recommend you to watch my hiring managers and BR playlist. When you're done with that, you should watch the Amazon Leadership Principle questions and answer. It doesn't matter if you're in sales, marketing, STE, it doesn't matter. You still need to learn how to create your story in diving super deep and thinking super big, right? Let's not forget the bias for action either. Okay. Vamsy, about to join On-Site Love. Hello, Vamsy. Is this my Vamsy from VIP? Hello. Okay, I'm going to make sure that I'm spreading the love for some new folks. If you want me to answer your question, you're welcome to super chat. I'm going to member mode only, okay? John, thank you so much for the super chat. Burmese, thank you so much. Appreciate the super chat. Harsh says, I just got a preliminary offer. Yes! Yes, for free, my friend, for free. Your videos and tips have been super helpful to my preparation strategy. Well, you're welcome. Congratulations to your day one. Share what is your best tip and strategies in helping you land your program management role at Amazon. KT, any feedback on inclined but no offer in HR? Please do not spam. You're more than happy to join as a community or super chat so I can see your message right away. Okay? Needy greedy. Needy greedy. Any advice on principal database consultant interview? I have one coming up on April 22. The advice is the same thing with everything else. If you're interviewing for a level 7, you better be very fluid in your articulation. Level 7, which is L7 principal, or it's relevant to like a senior manager of managers, they should not be repeating the questions more than once. You should be able to pull it in the back of your head and boom, drop a bomb with a very fluid answer at the level of scalable databases. What am I saying? If it's principal database, you still have to have a very wide breadth of project execution that you have done. What is it and who are you able to influence? Everything at the level is global, okay? You must have the breadth, the operational breadth and the operational depth. That is a must have, okay? So when you look back at your story, the biggest advice if you're interviewing for a level 7, which means you have the Amazon writing exercise. If your Amazon writing exercise is good, it's very important, guys, because it will help you create your answer, right? Because the style, I'm hinting you, the star format is still there, right? Level 7 and level 6s. When I was an employee at Amazon, the first thing I did, no one told me to do this. I am poor in English, right? You can still hear the accent. I've been in ESL most of my entire life, which is English is a second language. So I knew that when I joined Amazon or Google, the first thing I did was to take all of the communication classes. So the first class I took was PM 101. It teaches you how to write proposal. The second class I took was writing white paper, okay? And I'm going to save you guys all time. If you follow the star, just the star formula, Knowing what to do and how to do are two different things. Consider the VIP looking into it, because that is where I'm actually tearing your paper, not fixing it for you, but making you think a little deeper into ensuring that you're answering at the level that you're being considered for. Okay? Because your story needs a lot of meat into it, especially for a level 7. Alrighty. Ashok. Love what you do. It's my first time. I will be having my first interview, 2 weeks, BI engineer. Super excited to go over your collection. Super informative. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you say informative. That's actually a weakness of mine, by the way. Tell me about a weakness example. Well, my weakness is I'm very, very informal. Informal. I'm very informative because I feel that not everyone have worked for top tech companies. So I feel that I have to explain things a little bit deeper. If not, it's too service level and you don't get it. So rather than you not getting it and we're going back and forth with the YouTube comment back and forth, I'm just going to save you time so that you would know exactly how to do things with more details. Vin, what are possible outcomes of the loop interviewed if we cut too close to the finalist selection? Will the recruiter queue up similar roles in other teams? That's a great question. Well, it really depends. Normally, when you're interviewing for that recruiter, it's for that specific team, that specific hiring managers, okay? Because every hiring managers want the best candidate for themselves. Why should they share? Okay? I like the crest too. Well, I'm not putting the Quest 2 on purpose, is because I'm really trying to be a minimalist. I got rid of the normal background I have, which is a bookshelf. I got rid of all the lights. It just felt so crowded mentally. I just want it to be more simplistic. That's why I'm changing the look a little bit. By next week, a lot of my kids' artwork on here is probably going down. I just want it to be very simplistic. I feel like it helps me focus better. So a lot of you are asking me, well, what if I have anxiety in my interview and all that? Well, maybe you could, this is why, like, rather than asking you to do 2-3 example of 16 LP, I've done that, by the way. I have done that. That's exactly what I use to teach in VIP coaching. And I realized that, yes, they do result in job offer, but it takes them longer. So when I stop that and focus on the actual interview questions, they move a lot faster. Okay? So that's what I mean. Being simplistic, less is more. Everyone, repeat after me in the comment. Less is actually more. Constant, is it possible to secure an interview without a degree? Absolutely. I don't even have to read anymore. Absolutely. I know director level and senior managers who don't even have a college degree at Amazon, right? I know people, not often, unless you're interviewing at Google. Google and a little bit Facebook, not so much, but specifically Google and Microsoft, they're very into the elite and top tier school. But if you have a lot of relevant experiences, I don't think they care, to be honest, right? If that's what I mean by branding and meet. Go check out my LinkedIn. It's called Job Search Tutorial. What did I call it? Job Search. Yeah, Job Search. It's called Job Search, where I collaborated with Strain, and we both talk about how important your branding is. Okay, you don't need a college degree to get a job at FAANG. Okay, because when I got my first FAANG job at Microsoft, I barely had a degree. I believe I was I graduating for my bachelor's degree? I have an AS in computer science. That's really it at the time. Alrighty. More questions, please. There you go. Delay reaction. Sorry, Reyes. This thing. Last night I spent many hours setting up for this live stream to make it perfect for you. It isn't. You can tell I'm struggling a little bit moving things around. Reyes, thank you so much for coming by and sharing your job offer. L6, 20% less than expected. Help, Polly. If you're making less than 20%, I talked a little bit about data market research, okay? Go to Salary Prep number 1. There's 3 different websites that I recommend, but the first one is Levels, FYI. Levels, I'm just going to put it right here in the chat for you guys, okay? Hang on a second. Levels.fyi. you need to know exactly what you're getting into. You can't say I'm making 20% less. Where are the data? What are they evaluating you on? Okay. Do understand that your overall compensation has everything to do in how well you do in the entire interview process as well. That's why if you guys are looking for more money, the absolute money, when I was recruiting at Amazon, I would say at least 70% of all of my team's offer are exception. You know what exceptions are? Exceptions are when the recruiter says this is the max, I went above the max, okay? Because I know that my candidate deserve all the way up here because that's what the market rate is. That's what they're currently making. I don't want them to join Amazon and end up leaving with better pay at like the Google or Facebook within a year or less. Okay? Because guys and gals, once you put Amazon on your resume, all those FAANG employers suddenly out of nowhere will be all over you. Okay? Alrighty. Marie says, actually, you know what, guys? I am going to move this over here. Sorry, guys. Because let me tell you why. I'm going to move this over here. There you go. So much better. Sorry. Very sorry. There you go. I'm just trying to read. It's not letting me read. I'm trying something different, but obviously it's not working out. So I'm going back to, I was going to focus on member only and go very, very quickly because we're running out of time. But of my customer obsession, I'm going to speed this up a little bit quicker. I want those who've been patiently waiting to have their turn, okay? Allison, I'm slowly finishing up your YouTube videos after I want to squeeze some budget to buy courses as my birthday gift. Oh, wow, birthday gift. Well, happy early birthday. Should I go to the VIP 3 months or the Star Accelerator? Well, let me ask you a couple questions first so you're not wasting your money, right? If you are somebody who are a really fast learner who has never had a failed interview, I repeat, if you have not had a failed interview and you're very tight on budget, the digital course only, the Star Accelerator, has a lot of example for tech and non-tech. The template of questions that I have created for my VIP is the same. It's just a template of questions, by the way, but it tells you exactly how to fill in the blank. There's a formula in there for you. Okay. And there's a lot of information. I also added in a little bonus on to talk a little bit about branding to help you create your stories. If you have not failed any interviewed, and if you have worked with somewhat an environment that's moving somewhat fast with the scope and the scale, then yes, I would recommend the digital course only. Okay. However, if you are someone that does better with interaction like me, like this, the VIP coaching is highly recommended because not only are you getting the daily engagement like this, you know how you are asking me questions, I'm answering you. It's me, it's my community manager and the entire community of your friends. In the community, a lot of them are going to end up at FAANG. It happens every single week. So those are your network. So your future hiring manager may be your cohort peers. And it's also peer-to-peer interview, Allison, okay? Yes, you're mock interviewing and reverse interviewing with me because you need to know what it sounds like, but there's also hiring leaders with your background in there interviewing you as well. So that is actual premium coaching every single week for 2 hours. It's just unbeatable, right? That and reviewing all of your work. So if you're going to do that, if you're budget cautious, if you're really lost and confused to get the full benefit, it is the 90 days. The difference between that and the monthly, it's the price, right? It's a 1 month. It is the price different, but at the bare minimum, you have to do all the work and get all your stories reviewed. But the ROI for the 90-day, it is very, very high, and you can go ahead and read the endorsement, especially Harin's endorsement. He came from Geico Insurance. He had failed his Amazon interview, his Google interview, and he's at Meta Facebook right now as a senior TPM. right? We have Irfan, who's a senior technical product manager at Amazon level 6. He also have failed his Google, his Amazon interview before, right? Like a lot of these folks, this is what I mean. And Irfan was from AT&T and Deloitte. So you hear a lot of those background. They don't come from the FAANG. And then I also have folks who comes from another FAANG companies or mid-sized company, for example, like Expedia or more of the tech environment. They will give me feedback for my digital core star interview that says, Holly, just the type of questions and your template alone, it's worth the price. I don't need anything else. You see where I'm going? So the audience are very, very different. I don't want to say, yes, go do it if you get disappointed and that's not what you want. I hope that answers your question. Feel free to reach out to me, Allison, on LinkedIn, should you have more questions. Okay? I just don't want you to pay for something if that's not benefiting where you are at now. So I think it may make sense for me to learn more of where are you at right now today. Oh, project manager. Yes, 50% of the VIP coaching is program project product managers. Not in the job market for a long time. Thank you, Holly. You're welcome. Red Rain, thank you for all your great feedback. Well, you're welcome, Red Rain. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I just wanted to make sure I'm skimming through. My phone screen is with another assistant. Erica, let me go ahead and pin this here so we can see this. Do you know what kind of questions asked, especially when I don't have a lot of, what does it mean by me? Oh, matrix. If you are an executive assistant, first you need some kind of matrix, right? But a lot of your story should be handling projects, execution projects from beginning to end with stakeholders or executives. Make sure you understand what exactly you do in bridging the gap for your executive. What kind of problem have you helped your internal customers solve? So you have to be very, very particular in specific example, okay? Because I have helped several EA before in the past, who has, one of them had 20 years experience as an EA. And gosh, she has so much experience, but she doesn't know how to create her story. We have to literally take pieces by pieces. It took her about 2 months to go from 0 to wow. And the confidence just speeds up. I'm not saying it's going to take you 2 months. Everyone's learning is very different, right? Then I have someone else that took literally 1 month. But that person had failed Amazon interviewed and multiple companies, but that person ended up, I'm not going to say the company, it was one of the premier company. I'm surprised they're not one of the FAANG companies yet. Okay. So it all has to do with the same process. It's all depending on your experiences, on how you're able to move things, how to prioritize. EA's number one key experiences are prioritization. How do you prioritize 30, 100 projects at one time? Think about that. Okay? All righty. Let me do this. Okay. Let's go. Let's pick on someone new. Seto says, my recruiter says he's looking for teams that would allow me to fully remote L4. Every time he says he'll call me to update me, he doesn't. I'm sorry. I know it's not funny, but this has happened 3 times now and I'm getting worried. You need to manage your recruiter, okay? Email your recruiter every 2 business days and drive this person crazy. Drive them nuts. Also, email keep in touch with the hiring manager whom interview you. It doesn't matter if you are not from the team, but it's good to kind of keep in touch with people because those are your hot leads. Okay? I'm telling you, I have my second YouTube channel for recruiters because I feel like recruiters need a lot of help in creating positive candidate experience. Recruiters, I know you're watching me right now. I know you're watching. Candidate experience is key. You may think that you're just putting people through the pipeline, the funnel, and getting a job at Amazon, but those people whom you hire could hire you in the next company. Let me explain why. Okay. One of my stakeholders, my entire executive team for Hardlines, Amazon B2B, literally that entire team went to another hot company and they're all calling me to help them build their engineering team with this company. But for me, I just want to work for myself. But I'm trying to tell you this right now. Don't think of it, recruiters. I'm just talking some sense to recruiters right now. Just bear with me for a second, everybody else, job seekers. Okay? Candidate experience is key because as people get into jobs at Amazon, they don't always stay at Amazon forever. Some do, some don't. What if they end up going to, I don't know, another hot player in the market or Tesla, right? And they need to hire recruiters, which is you, recruiters, right? Do you think they're going to call you? No. People only remember two types of professionals. One, horribly, really bad experience, or two, yes, they will love to hire that person and want to continue building rapport with them. So you want to be on the second one. All right? Okay, I think I've said my piece there. VJ. Hey, VJ. I have a phone screen with the hiring manager 90 minutes tomorrow, and I was told the recruiter mentioned that I needed to provide more details in each of my past. Oh my God, that's horrible. That's not true. Hang on. And here's why a lot of recruiters are not going to like me. Not going to like me, okay? You do not need to provide details in each of your past role and responsibility. If I have a hiring manager, which I did, by the way, that says, Holly, let's walk through backward from your resume in job 1, job 2, job 3, job 4. You get the idea? What is your role and responsibility here? What is your roles and responsibility here? What is the role? That 1 is boring. 2 is lack of engagement. 3, that's telling me the interviewer don't know how to interview. Okay? The interviewer should keep a conversation. That's why they should take a course that I used to teach at Amazon called Making Great Hiring Decisions, so that they know how to peel onions, not just be so robotic, asking the same thing. Okay? So let me go ahead and prep you for your phone screen. You need to look at your resume, but look at the relevance, starting by job titles and the type of work that you've done, because the hiring manager will pull questions from your resume. Okay? If you must, you don't need to know your roles and responsibility, but think about your achievement. What is your business impact for those employers? I would think about business impact, not so much describing your roles and responsibility, because that's very vague if you do it over and over again. Okay? Let me know if that makes sense to you all. And if you are just joining, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Greatly appreciate it. Alrighty. John, thank you so much for the super chat. I've interviewed in 2 days. Can you help me? John, my friend, if you're interviewing in 2 days, I cannot help you because I can't recommend any of the stuff I have. I just don't want you to waste your money on something where it's going to take you time to prep. Okay? And I don't take any private coaching clients right now. It is full for the entire year. I only take one private coaching a month because a lot of my energy is dedicated to the VIP coaching community. Okay? It is weird, right? To have a coach who tell you that I don't want your business because it's too soon. I'm not sure if you have the bandwidth to do that. You have an option. You could push your interview out. Then perhaps we could take a look at your background and see what we can do to support you. Diva says, can you review my story on Judgment Call? Yes, I would be glad to do so. Let me put this here. Judgment Call. All right. And okay, Judgment Call. I was working as a technical lead managing and supporting customer-facing portal for healthcare client. You should say for one of my largest healthcare clients. Just make it more critical scope. Expand your scope a little bit. I was responsible for handling critical tickets and resolving them. You just repeated yourself on your T again. The issue could not be reproduced for customer at our end, and this pose more problems. It's unclear to me what problem you're trying to solve. When you say responsible for ticket errors, what are we talking about? What do you mean by unsuspecting web page? So speak to me in a terminology of why is it critical for you to solve this problem for your customer? What is your customer, this healthcare company, doing that need this problem to be solved? If that makes sense. I'm not able to paste it here. It's too long because it's 200 character. You have to hit enter. Okay. After the fix was released, around 20 of the historical open tickets without much data to analyze were also closed. This improved customer engagement and customer website. Okay. Your how is missing, your action plan. Okay. I would simply just say, I'd like to walk you through an example of a judgment call that I've made in helping one of my largest healthcare customers troubleshoot a lot of the ticketing errors. The problem I'm trying to solve here is that why. So it's very unclear why you're solving this and what is critical for your customer. And I would just go straight to the action I took is, or what I've done is to first dig deep to figure out where the errors are coming from. And then I discover, what did you find out? What is the root cause of the problem? What led you to know what solution to provide for your customer? And what exactly did you do to fix it? Because you pretty much went from ticketing issues to the problem is already solved. So there's a big gap there that's missing how you fix the issue. Okay. And what is really the end result? How many customer is your customer servicing with you solving this problem? So give us more excitement in your answer so the flow is a lot more stronger. Okay. Okay, speeding this through. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, all right. I'm going to take one last one, okay? If you guys are interested, please click the join button in the video to become my member so that I could focus on community member only. You guys can tell in every single stream, there's always going to be some kind of spam. And I really hate that. It's taking my attention away from you guys. Don't you guys want my attention? I'm giving it all to you. Okay, last question. Here you go. Cash Whistle says, I have a final loop on Friday. I asked the recruiter if she thought it was a smart idea for me to write down the question as I'm asked, but not sure it would be distracting thought. That's an excellent question. Let me put it on here, okay? Well, here's the thing. Again, this is personal preference. You guys, the ones who disagree with me, put yourself in the interviewer perspective. I will not recommend that you write down every single question. Video conference and in-person is the same thing. How would you feel if you're interviewing someone, especially at level 6 and above, senior folks who want you to repeat themselves every single question so they can slowly write things down, right? You could absolutely do that if the questions are hard. You want it to kill 10 seconds or 15 seconds to get your thoughts together, or maybe like wink, wink, put little bullets to help you answer them, right? But I will not recommend you do it in every single one, especially interviewing for senior level L6 plus positions with any employer or not Amazon. Okay. That's just me. I know that other creators highly encourage that you ask and write down every single thing. In fact, there are a creator who tells you to look at your notebook for notes. That's a no. That's a no. Okay. You don't want to be doing, look at my eyes. You don't want to be doing this. Look at my eyes. Okay. You don't want to be doing this. In video, here's the thing, guys. When you're moving really fast or glancing like screen to screen, it looks like you're rolling your eyes. It's very obvious that you're cheating. Nobody wants to, and yes, you bet they better talk about this in the debrief, right? When they sat down and sharing all of their feedback, you do not want that, okay? So the bottom line is, do ask if you could write down the question, but not every single question, okay? I would say maybe one, the toughest one out of each interviewer, and not, you don't want it to come up in the debrief to say, yeah, this person, oh, you too? Oh, you also? Wait, hang on. Are we evaluating for level 6 position and this person wrote down every single question? Well, great bias for action, but are they able to think big and think quick on their feet, right? So that would be lacking the thinking big and thinking quick. Okay, thank you so much for all of your time, everybody. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Don't miss next week. It's very, very, very exciting, okay? Next week, I will have the senior manager from the solution architect and the level 6, Victoria herself, whom also benefited from my YouTube channel and how she was able to land a job at Amazon. They will both be here. This is not just for solution architect, but for all technical and non-tech role at Amazon, because the interview process is very similar except the tech side. But I highly encourage you to learn what the hiring bar is and kind of get the own feel for yourself in helping you prep the final loop. Take care and be well.